Hello everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. Guess what? Toyota is introducing another variation of the Crown lineup in the form of SUV, which might surprise you. And I'm really excited about this one because it's perhaps the best looking Crown model among the 4 models that are being offered in Japan. So this is a second addition to the Crown lineup, and I'm super excited about this. In fact, let me tell you 7 surprises about this new Crown SUV from engineer's perspective. Let's go. Welcome back. So the first surprise is the fact that we are even getting a second edition or second model to the Crown lineup. Because of the fact that the Crown nameplate was missing from North American market for so long, I can't believe that we're getting another model or another variation of the Crown lineup. As you may or may not know, in Japan, they're going to offer 4 variations of the Crown, which itself is a surprise as well. But the fact that we are getting a second addition to the Crown lineup, it's a big deal, because of the fact that we didn't even have the Crown nameplate for so many years. Some of you guys may not be familiar with the Crown name or may not appreciate the name, but for me, who grew up in Japan and was born there, the Crown name is a big deal. We actually always grew up respecting the nameplate because only the wealthy and the respected family can afford that Crown, not like my family who couldn't afford that. So every time we saw a Crown model, we know that family made it or was able to afford it. And it was a big deal when we were growing up. So the fact that we are getting the Crown nameplate is already a big deal here in North America. But now to be able to get an SUV version of that is also an important news. The second surprise is the name of this new Crown SUV, which is going to be called the Toyota Crown Signia, as in a shorter version of Insignia. And that kind of surprised me because the name Crown Signia was never used anywhere else in the world, as far as I know. In case you didn't know, the exact same model is actually called the Crown Estate in Japan because it's supposed to be kind of a station wagon. But obviously the name Estate is not going to go very well in North America, and that's why they changed the name to Crown Signia. Now, I do admit that it would have made more sense for Toyota to call the Crown SUV a Crown Cross, just like we have a Corolla and a Corolla Cross. But perhaps they wanted to differentiate it from more of a mainstream name and give it a special, unique name. But I'm kind of curious whether you like the name. Let me know in the comments below if you like the word Signia. The third surprise is the fact that we are getting this particular version of the Crown. As I mentioned to you, Toyota actually has 4 different variations of the Crown in places like Japan. And there were actually 2 SUVs shown before. That includes this one here, which is a Crown Signia, called the Crown Estate in Japan, but also the one called the Crown Sport, which is the version I was expecting to see in North America. That particular model is already on sale in Japan, and it may be even a better looking version than the Signia because it has a very sporty feel. It has a front end that is similar to the Ferrari SUV and the back end that kind of looks like a Porsche Macan. And so overall, it has a very sporty feel to it. And for those people who like a European styling, they might really like that particular version. But that Crown crossover is indeed smaller than the version we have here, which is probably why they decide to give us the Signia version as opposed to the Crown Sport version for the North American market. It just kind of makes sense because we obviously prefer something with a larger interior and a larger space. The fourth surprise is the powertrain. The new Crown Signia will have a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine combined with the 2 electric motors to give you a full hybrid. And in fact, it only comes in hybrid. But they are not offering, at least for now, the hybrid max system that's offered in the other Crown lineup. That one has a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with a hybrid that will give you more power and more torque. But unfortunately, that powertrain is not being offered on the new Crown Signia. I'm expecting maybe at some point later on, they might offer the hybrid max, which would make sense. But for now, you're going to have to settle with a normal 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with the hybrid system, which is still a decent engine because it is very efficient. And it does offer more than sufficient 243 horsepower. But as you know, I want more power and more torque. So hopefully Toyota will introduce the hybrid max version of the Crown Signia at some point down the road. The fifth surprise or fifth thing you should know is that the Crown Signia is produced in Tsutsumi plant in Japan. That's in Aichi Prefecture. And I've been to that factory quite a few times, maybe 6 or 7 times. And it does produce vehicles like the Prius and the Camry and some other models that's based on TNGA platforms, particularly the TNGA-K platform, and it is one of the best plants for producing high quality, high precision models. So I'm actually very happy that's being built in Tsutsumi plant. But you might be curious as to why they are not building in Tahara factory. Well, in Tahara, they're really more focused on body on the frame models, such as a new Land Cruiser and existing Toyota 4Runner. And therefore, that plant is more focused on body on the frame SUVs. And also, Tsutsumi plants traditionally have had very high rating and very high feedback for quality control. And that's probably why they're building the Crown in Tsutsumi factory in Japan. The sixth surprise or things you should know about the new Crown SUV is that it only comes in all-wheel drive version, but it is on-demand all-wheel drive because it's using the electric motors as a way to provide that all-wheel drive system. And there are many advantages of that compared to a mechanical all-wheel drive. For example, you can shift the torque front to back quite a bit. Indeed, it can shift 100% of the torque to the front with 0 in the back, or up to 80% of torque in the back with only 20% in the front. So it can actually perform very differently based on the road condition. So it can function like a front-wheel drive vehicle, or it can function and feel like rear-wheel drive vehicle as well, based on the electronic distribution of the torque front or back. And that is a one big advantage compared to all-wheel drive version that is in mechanical format, because in mechanical versions, you can't distribute the torque 100% front or 80% back as we have been able to do with the Crown Signia. The seventh and the final thing you should know is that the Crown Signia only comes in fully equipped format. It doesn't come in very basic format. In the US, it comes in either XLE or limited models, but in Canada, it's only offering limited models. Either way, it comes fully equipped with the latest technology, latest safety equipment, including a 12.3 inches digital cluster for the driver's side, and a full 12.3 inches infotainment system for both the driver and passenger to enjoy, as well as wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the latest safety equipment called the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. So there are many standard equipment and many technology features that are part of the XLE or the limited package. So you know that whichever version of the Crown you buy is going to be very well equipped. And that's really designed to give that Crown name a special recognition and a special reputation that perhaps will differentiate it from other nameplates within Toyota. So I hope you enjoyed my quick video explaining 7 surprises or 7 things you should know about the new Crown SUV. I think it's exciting that we're even getting the Crown model to begin with, because I never imagined growing up in Japan that the Crown name will eventually be exported or become available in North America. And the fact that we're getting 2 different variations of the Crown is exciting, because I'm thinking that perhaps at some point in the future, Toyota might offer additional versions of the Crown that we have in Japan, such as the Crown Sedan, which looks fantastic, or the Crown Sport, which has that European sporty flavor. And that'll be super exciting, because then at some point we might have 4 different models of the Crown. And that indeed will be a big news for everyone. So I hope you enjoyed my videos about the Crown model, especially this new SUV in the form of a Signia. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up, make some comments. And if you haven't done so yet, would you kindly subscribe to my channel as well? Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.